Hey, everybody. How are you guys all doing today? Oh, excuse me. Today is the day we are doing the iCare giveaway today. Give me just a second here. I need to minimize a couple of things. And hey, we are here. And I'm just punching everybody into the wheel. And that's kind of what we got going on today. So I'm super excited to have you guys all here. I know I was supposed to do this clear back in January. And it's been crazy. You guys have been going absolutely nuts. I have about 15 more names I got to add to the wheel yet, but we are going to, let me bring Mr. Walz in. Let's see, here we are. Jim, where are you at? I see you.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Now, yeah.
There you are. Now we got to get you where you're showing, though. Okay. That's what I get for not being ready. Let's do that. Here. Guest one. Where you at? Hey, everyone. Thanks. The joys of being live. So let's close that. Close that. Close that. Speak, Jim. Say things while I'm fixing this.
All right. I'm okay. I'm here. I don't think there's anything down on my end that I have to do.
No,
It
it's
does
all me.
give me the
It's all
ability
me.
to swap.
It's all me.
Okay.
I just need to add, we'll do this here. Oh, new camera overlay. And then we're going to do here. We'll put you here. We'll just put you over the top of this one. How does that sound? Edit that, make that a custom.
I could share my screen and then it will see both you and me.
Well, yeah, we could do that. I do know what I'm doing, believe it or not, folks. So how's everybody doing today? What is going on in the world out there? I know everybody's coming in to be super excited. And here, I'm just going to put you over top for now. How's that sound? All right.
Okay. Well, they should be able to at least hear me.
Yeah, they can see you.
If they can't
So,
see me. Okay.
okay, we're going to, at the moment, we are going to check in and see how everybody's doing real quick. So we got quite a few people here today. We got Dunlap. Oh, we're going to move on there. We got Mark Baer. Mark, I know you are super excited. You've been totally paying attention and you're checking all the time to see who's winning. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you win, Mark. Thanks for checking in. Travis Jones, and he's watching from Kona. Yay. Be there pretty soon. Tara, a good friend of mine. Tara, glad you're here. Looking good to see you. Benjamin, good to see you as always. And we got Jimbo. Hey, Jimbo, thanks for... Jimbo just got his hot tub. We're going to give him some confetti because he just got his
Looks
hot
like you
tub.
have somebody from Scotland.
Yes, Jim is
Or
from
he's
Scotland.
back from Scotland. Okay.
You got
Very
back
cool.
from Scotland? So we're going to give him what he's got going on there, but that's awesome. And Tara is from Sioux Falls. We got Benjamin. Benjamin's been a huge follower. He helps me out on Facebook a lot. So we got him here. Good to see you. Robert, good to see you as well. And hello, Jacque and fellow hot tubbers. Robert, it's awesome to see you as always. DW, hello from fabulous Las Vegas. So we got a lot of you guys have been checking us out for a while now. And we got Kelly. Kelly, I just punched your name into the wheel. Kelly is from Minnesota, and she's excited to have her hot tub. So we got more hot tubs. So we're gonna have to do more confetti. It's a confetti day. I can see that right now. So confetti for Tara. And yes, Jimbo, we got going on here. So I need to ban a couple of people here real quick. And we're going to do that. And then, okay, so we're doing really, really good. I am going to put Jim back up here. real quick. And Jim, let's talk about, as I put you back up here, what, before we do the drawing and we get everybody all involved on what we got going on there, a lot of people in here already have iCares. Let's ask a couple of questions answer a couple questions on what's going on with iCare. What are the most common questions that you're seeing?
Most common questions initially are their ability to connect to their Wi-Fi. So anybody who currently has one, they've gone through this process, but you do need to connect through your Wi-Fi. It is a 2.4 gigahertz connection. So a lot of Wi-Fi's today will put out both a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz. And this device has got to be able to connect, like most devices have got to connect to the 2.4 gigahertz connection. So before you connect to your Wi-Fi, you do have to connect via Bluetooth. To be able to connect through Bluetooth, you need to be within 1 to 2 feet of your actual iCare. So first you connect through Bluetooth, and then you connect through Wi-Fi. The other thing you have to remember is this device, the iCare device, is not putting out a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth signal 24/7 like your phone, and it does it to conserve the battery. So sometimes people will contact us and say, I can't connect through Bluetooth. Well, they've got to give it time to run through its cycle to be able to connect to Bluetooth, and then you can do updates. Then you can look at your Wi-Fi configuration. But again, it's not going to be putting out a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi signal 24/7 like your phone. If you think about it, your phone, you've got to go charge every night. This, we're trying to get anywhere from 4 to 6 months out of a charge. So that way you don't have to continuously plug it in. When you do plug it in, the instructions will tell you that you need to take it out of the water, you need to dry it off, you need to pop the top and let it sit for 12 hours before you go plug it in overnight. And the reason being is we don't want any moisture to get into that battery port. It wouldn't be any different than if you got your cell phone wet, it actually hurts the battery. So that's probably the most common, is to that initial, connect with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. But once it's up and running, they're good to go. The other thing in dealing with Wi-Fi is sometimes you may have to get a Wi-Fi extender. And Wi-Fi extenders, once again, will either put out a 2.4 or a 5 gigahertz signal. You just need to make sure that you're connecting. So my recommendation is, when you're setting up your Wi-Fi, is literally set it up and name it 2.4 or name it 5, so you know exactly which one to go connect to.
Yes.
So that's
I
kind of
had
that
to do that
initial
at home.
setup.
I had
Yeah.
to do that at home, and that was a challenge. But I did finally get it done, and it's been really good since then. But
And there are certain Wi-Fi's that are more stingy than others. Like a Euro brand Wi-Fi tends to have in its settings that it's a revolving IP address. And this, you need to be able to connect with a stagnant. So that way the IP address isn't changing.
so, we kind of talked about that, because I was going to switch my internet over to Wave Internet. Is that, and then you were telling me what I was going to switch it over to wasn't going to work the best.
Right.
And do you have any thoughts on that, or anything that you want to?
So as long as it is a stagnant or stable IP address, I've learned a lot about all these different routers that are out there, because people, call us and we're trying to help them through this process. And like a Netgear. Netgear tends to set up in its automatic programming that it's a stagnant or still IP address. Whereas others, if it's revolving, and the reason why they do a revolving IP address is for security. Well, if you turn around and have a Wi-Fi password, your security is going to be just as good, rather than having a revolving IP address.
Okay, so that's a good way to go.
Yep.
Okay, So we had a couple questions in here. Mark wants to know, can it tell you exactly what to add?
Yes, it does tell you exactly what to add. The thing with iCare, because of the AI software that is similar to Nest, is you need to let it learn. So many people that have um, had a difficulty not being able to figure out exactly what to go add is they're preempting before iCare tells you what to go do. They'll go add some chemicals to it. So let's say they saw their pH was, too high and they wanted to go add some pH down before the iCare told them to go add pH down. That actually inhibits the learning ability of iCare. So they just need to let it learn and wait for it to tell you exactly what to go add. And it will learn. So let's say that initially it said to go add 2 ounces of pH down or chlorine or whatever the dosing recommendations were, and all of a sudden that was way too much. Well, it will learn from that because it's going to learn from the effectiveness of the products you're adding. So if you go get good stuff, it's going to tell you to go add less, but it needs to learn what you're using first.
And and that is something that I guess probably one of the biggest things that, especially my brand new people who get it, like I had a customer that did it that got one over the weekend, and she plugged it in, she threw it in, and it asked her a couple questions, and then it just kind of stopped, and at that point, she texted me, she's like, it's not working. I'm like, give it 24 to 48 hours. Just don't even worry about it. Don't even look at it again for 24 to 48 hours. And she texted me this morning. She's like, everything's working great. It's the most awesome thing in the world. And so it is an absolute amazing thing. And when I tell people that when you put it in there and it tells you exactly what to put in your hot tub, it is never wrong. And I actually will believe that over I will believe my water lab that I actually have in the store that we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on. It really truly does. If you let it do its thing, it'll do it incredibly well. So
Yep.
um,
And it even does more than that. So when you look at the overall care of a hot tub or a body of water, chemicals and what to add and how much to add is important, but it's all of the other things that people tend to forget, or not do or delay. This will remind you. So it'll tell you when to go clean your filter. It'll let you know when you should be draining and refilling your hot tub. It'll tell you as a reminder to do a regular maintenance. So if your spa manufacturer or pool manufacturer said, go clean your skimmer baskets or go backwash or go clean your filter, it will tell you when to go do your regular maintenance. The other neat, cool thing I think is it pulls in local weather. So bad weather's coming in, it'll actually remind you, make sure you go cover your hot tub, or make sure it's locked down.
and as a dealer, or that is probably one of the in my opinion, one of the coolest features that happens because people get freaked out over the snow. We live in the Midwest. We know what's going on. Nobody thinks about their hot tub. Nobody thinks about, oh, I should maybe go throw some extra weight on that cover. I should go make sure it's latched, or I should. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal right now because covers themselves are almost impossible to get a hold of. And then, so if your cover gets ruined or ripped off the hot tub due to a snowstorm, it could be up to a year to get it replaced in today's market. I don't think it's going to be like that forever, but right now that is the case. So it's a big deal. And so if you have this iCare on your phone and you keep it charged, you are absolutely going to love it. And in my opinion, the iCare has been an absolute game changer in the whole hot tub industry. So how's that for tooting the horn for you?
Thank you.
So I'm going to check the comments again. Kayla is here. She says, howdy. Hey, Kayla, will you check the comments? There's a couple people that might need to be taken down. I appreciate that. We got Coffee Talk and Tech. He is from New Jersey, and he is driving home. And, hey, thanks for stopping in. If you guys are looking for some tech information, his channel is absolutely fantastic. He's got a channel on YouTube. Absolutely love listening to him. He's helped me a lot. And then we got Kelly. She said it would be awesome. The test strips are a little hard to figure out exactly. Right, Jim? I mean, that is crazy. I mean, it's absolutely nuts on those. And then Mark came again and he says, anything that we have to replace on the unit. So, yeah, that's, I'll let you talk about that too.
Okay, so on the unit itself, it does have three sensors. So you've got a pH sensor, a sanitizer sensor, and a TDS or salt sensor, and then the temperature reading sensor, which I do want to talk about that, especially in cold weather climates. The temperature sensor is internal. So the three that are replaceable or recalibratable are the pH, the sanitizer, and the TDS. So the kits, some of you have been asking, when are these going to be out? What do I have to go do? So this is an example. This is a pH sensor. In this kit, it's going to include the actual sensor and the
This is new,
calibration
guys.
kit.
You guys are getting this information before I did.
Yeah.
So,
So what it does is, it'll have a little tray. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got a little tray. It's got some solutions to it that have two different levels of pH. So one is a pH of 4, one is a pH of 7. So we turn around and we check both the high and the low settings, and ultimately you're going to bring the pH, when you recalibrate it, you're going to bring it back to 0. Not 0 as far as a pH number, but bringing it back to that center point. You can also get just the calibration kit. So you don't necessarily have to change the sensor and um, do a calibration kit. The reason why we're putting it in the kit is at some point in time in the future, you're going to have to go recalibrate it. So that's that's the neat thing about it is everybody else that's in this category turns around and either doesn't allow you to replace the sensor, or they charge you a monthly fee that you have to continuously go pay just to be able to um, test your water or have access to the app. This is by the iCare, and it's yours. There's no monthly fee to it.
and
Going
they've
back
been
to
fantastic. They actually have been totally fantastic. So, on those sensor kits, do you have them in stock now?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So this is the pH one. This is a sanitizer one, and then the TDS or salt one, which is the gray one. We have those individually. That's not something that you would turn around and go calibrate. And out of the thousands that are out there, I literally have only replaced maybe 2 of the gray sensors in the history of iCare. It is a rarity that those sensors have got to be replaced. And the iCare has been, this device has been out in the market now for a little over 5 years. And I'm telling you that the gray sensors just don't.
Yeah,
They don't fail.
I haven't had one. I haven't had one that I've even had an issue with that anybody's even asked me a question about. So they have been absolutely amazing. So okay, I'm gonna order some. So get some sent to me um,
Okay.
why we're talking about that. I just had a real quick question come across here. Travis Jones says the sensors have a 2-year warranty. Initially, correct?
That is
So
correct.
that is
Yep.
correct. And then we had. Okay. And then let's see who else we got. Kelly. We just got mild mannered EDC, new Limelight Flash owner. Just did the first startup on Friday. Feel like the iCare might be a good idea to go along with this system. Okay, we know the rules here. First, we got to give him some confetti, and then I'm gonna, as soon as I get past that confetti. Come on. Yeah, there's our confetti. We'll get the air horn here. So congratulations on the hot tub. That's absolutely awesome. And we're going to get back over to Jim here. I did not get my thing set up today, and it is definitely definitely showing today. The so being a new hot tub owner, it is the absolute piece of best thing that you can do. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, it's really the number one thing that people struggle with once they have a hot tub or a body of water is understanding the water chemistry. And what do I add? How much do I add? What do I have to do on a regular basis? And there's really When you look at the history of hot tubs, the number one thing that causes a hot tub to stop working the way it should is a dirty filter. And the fact that iCare turns around and reminds you to go clean your filter. And because people don't remember when a month ago was, or 2 weeks ago, or 3 months, or 4 months. So by having that simple reminder, and it's on your to-do list on your iCare that says, go clean your filter. The second thing in cold weather climates is, how do you know your hot tub is actually functioning? How do you know it's heating properly? And unless you go out to your hot tub, or unless you look out the window and you see those lights that say everything's perfectly fine, you really don't know. And sometimes people can't even see those little lights to know. And, do you know what those lights mean? Sometimes it's just, it's time to replace your salt cell. Sometimes it's the spa is not heating. So with iCare, knowing the temperature of your water, you'll actually get a notification that if it drops below whatever your lowest setting is, and we recommend to have that low setting at 95 if you're keeping your water at 100 or higher. Put the low end at 95. So if it ever drops below 95, there's something wrong with your hot tub.
Yes. And, for me, that's only gone off one time for me on that. It's only the one time it's gone off for me on that. So that has been really, really good. My battery died here not too long ago, and I charged it over the weekend and put it back in the hot tub today. And it's taken a tiny little bit for it to get back into place, but it is saying my sanitizer's really low. I know it's not that low just because I know who I am. So I'm going to give it till tomorrow, and I guarantee you everything's going to be dialed right back in where it needs to be. So, which is absolutely awesome. So, let's talk about Soft Skin Spa a little bit, because that'll be the first thing we give away here in a few minutes here. So tell me about Soft Skin Spa. Why should every single hot tub owner in the whole wide world have that product?
The reason why they should is really there's three main things that it does. And so when you look at the things or the reasons why somebody doesn't use their hot tub, a lot of times it's they don't like the feel of the water. Water just feels, I know it may seem weird, but it feels dry to them. It dries out their skin. It feels dry. It affects their hair. It affects color in hair. And Soft Skin Spa, first of all, will actually make the water feel soft. And so instead of having a dry water, it is actually soft water. The second thing it does is it gives a layer of protection to the hot tub, the equipment, and the consumer's body from the harshness of chemicals, similar to how Rain-X works on a windshield. So when you have issues with hot tubs and calcium buildup, this actually protects it to where the calcium can't stick to those components. It literally takes twice as long for that calcium to build up. So if you want to have a longer life of your equipment, your salt cells, your heaters, the protection side of Soft Skin Spa will definitely do that. And then the single biggest thing that consumers struggle with is knowing and figuring out pH. And a lot of people ask, well, how did I get into iCare? Why did I start making iCare? The reason was to prove that Soft Skin Spa would actually keep your pH and alkalinity in check. And I can tell you from chart after chart after chart of iCare that when somebody's using Soft Skin Spa, you can see their pH being very consistent. Now, obviously, it's going to have some limits to it. If somebody were to pee in the hot tub every day, it's going to get consumed and it's not going to be able to keep up with that. But for everyday use, it keeps your pH in check. And by keeping your pH in check, it makes your sanitizer that much more effective. So when you look at salt, go ahead.
Well, let's talk about that for just a second. So on how much more effective, so if your pH is at 7.6, how much more effective is it at 7.6 than it is at, let's say, 7.8 or 8.2?
So going from, I've used it in the past to where 7.5 would be perfect when it comes to how your sanitizer functions. If your pH were to go to 7.8, you literally would have to have 3 times the amount of that sanitizer to have the same level of effectiveness in that water. So whether you're using chlorine or bromine or you have salt, a lot of times salt generators in salt water tend to have a high level of pH.
Mm-hmm.
And having a high level of pH, you literally almost you have to overproduce on your salt system to compensate for that pH being 7.8, 7.9, 8.0. And if you could keep your pH where it needs to, your salt generator wouldn't have to work as hard.
Right. So,
But it's three times in that, just going from 7.5 to 7.8, it's three times the amount of sanitizer required.
and so your salt cell has to work harder, or you have to add more chlorine. But if your salt cell is working harder, you're going to burn that up sooner.
Correct. Yep.
And
It's all
so
about runtime.
it's not going to have to run as much. And so with the combination of the iCare and the water and the soft skin spa, that cell isn't going to run as much. So thus it's going to last longer. And it all plays together. I mean, everything 100% plays together. And your new soft skin spa actually has phosphate removers in that as well, which also help
Yes.
with the um, making those salt cells last longer. So
Correct.
that's
So there's really three things that we added to the newest formula. One is silver nitrate, which silver nitrate is the most pure form of silver. And the reason why that's important is it's easier to get in the water. It's a lot more effective. And by having silver in the water, it's a natural bacteriostat. So your sanitizer is oxidizing the silver. The silver then acts as a bacteriostat. We also have added the magnesium, which magnesium is absorbed through the skin. It helps with sore muscles and sleeping better at night. And then, like you had mentioned, it also has phosphate remover. The phosphate remover amount is a maintenance dose. It is not, if you have an issue with phosphates, it's not going to take it. You've got to get that under control first, and then this will maintain it long term. The other thing that we did is we took all phosphates out of the chemical, out of the product itself. A lot of times people go, well, um, you know, how come I'm dealing with phosphates now when I wasn't dealing with phosphates? We didn't talk about this in the industry 5 years
never,
ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
never,
30.
ever,
It never
ever.
existed. And a lot of chemical manufacturers are saying, well, it's because of our source water and farmers using chemicals and it's affecting our source water, which is a true statement. But why does the phosphates continue to increase over time in a contained body of water? It's because most chemical manufacturers have switched to a phosphate based ingredients, which are cheaper, but you literally are increasing or adding phosphates to the water as you're adding those chemicals. And the biggest culprit of it is stain and scale. Stain and
Absolutely.
scale control has the highest level of phosphates out of any product that's out there. And that's the reason why it continues to increase. But that's the reason why it's more expensive to not use phosphate based ingredients. But it's the right thing to do, and it makes your water that much easier.
Are you guys all ready to fire me yet? As I keep bouncing Jim all over the computer here, the and stain and scale control for sure is so full of phosphates. It's crazy. And if you are on a non-salt hot tub, it is probably one of the most important products that you put into your hot tub, unless you're using something like Soft Skin Spa, because it's got the sequestrants in there to keep that metal at bay. So you just replace so many products when you do the soft skin spa. I am a big fan of stain and scale control if you're not using soft skin spa, and especially if you're a non-saltwater hot tub. It's almost
It's almost required.
it is almost required. I always say it's like putting oil in your car. It's that important. It's as important as your sanitizer, especially those of us who live in the Midwest. And when you and I both lived in Nebraska, it was bad, and you absolutely had to have it. But yeah, let's we got a couple. Let's go back to comments. We got mild mannered EDC says, "Ha, appreciate it. Thanks for the helpful content." Kelly says, "I bought some of the soft skin spa even before getting my hot tub. It is great." So which is awesome. Jim says, we have really, really soft water in Scotland. Therefore, would it bring value to us? Well,
So the answer is yes. Would it give you the softness aspect of it? You probably wouldn't see a big difference. I'd be curious to know how soft the water actually is. A lot of times, soft water is perceived based on the calcium level that's in the water, and you do need some calcium in the water. So a lot of those tests will say, okay, you've got to keep calcium levels. I don't even know what the recommendations are anymore. Is it 100 to 180 on calcium, or 120 to
on a
is what
chlorine type?
what the test strips tend to show calcium levels being at a higher level than really what are required.
Yes.
And the basis of those test strips or those test kits that test for calcium and say, here's your ideal range, that ideal range only pertains to hot tubs that are built out of gunite or concrete. They do not pertain to portable acrylic ABS hot tubs. So with a portable hot tub that is acrylic, you can have calcium levels at 25 to 100, and you would be better off than having it 100 plus. So for is it Jimbo in Scotland? You do want some calcium in there because calcium is what the other chemicals use to attach to. If you take all of the calcium out, then your chemicals are going to float and they're not going to react the way you want them to.
I believe he has, I'm pretty sure it's a Flash. I know it's a Limelight saltwater hot tub. I do know for a fact he has that. But,
Okay.
so, he doesn't have to keep it as high as some. But even with so yes, Jim, you do want to get soft skin spa because of, even though your water's soft, it's going to help your salt cells last longer. It's going to help protect you. It's
And your pH, yeah, having the silver in there. When you have silver, you don't have to have as much sanitizer.
So, and Mark says, it's amazing. I watched Jackie's video and it's worth every penny. So, you do have some fans already. Corey says, one question, would it help with a Caldera Geneva salt system? Something is locking out my chlorine output. So when I check my levels, no chlorine shows up on my test strip. So I have to manually add. So Corey, are you saying that you're not getting any chlorine to show up on your test strip at all, and your salt system's working correctly, but you're not getting a chlorine reading, or you're just never getting chlorine? And how old is your salt cell? If you could answer those questions for you, I could definitely help you out with that, and so could Jim. But sometimes you got to go ahead.
So one thing on the way that Watkins, the makers of Caldera and Hot Spring, on their salt cell systems, they cycle differently than a traditional salt cell system. So if I was running the salt system on a Watkins product for 12 hours, it actually isn't 12 straight hours. It's every other hour during a 24-hour period. So there'll be times where you'll see that chlorine reading be high, and then you'll see it go to nothing, and then you'll see it high and go to nothing, and high and go to nothing. A traditional salt system, if you were going to run it for 12 hours, would run for 12 hours and then shut off for 12 hours. So it just functions a little bit differently. And what Jacque is saying is, even though she's showing low right now on the iCare or test strips, when you look at the overall average, then she knows that her sanitation level is correct.
So, which is true. So Corey had responded a couple things. He did say what I had assumed was correct, and that his salt cell is only 2 weeks old. Corey, what I would recommend for you, so on those salt systems, they only generate a teaspoon and a half of chlorine in a 24-hour period. So my assumption is going to be that you're behind and you haven't actually gotten caught up on your chlorine, and you won't get caught up until it'll take a lot to get it caught up. So what I would actually recommend, you have a Geneva, I would recommend 3 teaspoons of chlorine concentrate, not the liquid, an actual powder of chlorine concentrate every day for the next 3 days. And I'm pretty sure that'll take you out of your lock and get you where you need to be. Um, yes, I would definitely want to get that taken care of for you. But try that, and if that doesn't work, reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll help get that situation for you. But I do recommend the soft skin spa as well once you get that taken care of, because I do think it'll help lock everything in place. Jimbo, can you stick a product? Can you stick a link to the product when you're done? Can you sell it to him over in Scotland? Can you get some soft skin spa over to him in Scotland?
I'm
Afterwards,
actually setting up people not in Scotland, but in the UK. So if he can get it from the UK, then
Happy Hot Tubs.
I can send him a message. That's going to be a lot easier than, because shipping one box over,
Yeah.
it would cost him a fortune. Whereas if he could get it from the UK, then at that point, they would probably, I mean, the shipping
Yeah.
is going to be dramatically less because they buy it by the pallets. And
Yeah.
so,
Jimbo, I'm pretty sure I will put a link in the description if I haven't already. I know there's a link to Ideal Water Care, and I think I have the Amazon link, the Ideal Water Care link, and then you can also buy it from the Hot Spring Spas of Sioux Falls. I have it there. I do believe, I'm pretty sure you got your iCare from Happy Hot Tubbers, and I'm pretty sure, Jim, you got them set up as a soft skin spa dealer as well.
so he's only an iCare.
Only iCare. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And the other retailer has 7 locations.
yeah, he says there is a retailer. So,
Yeah.
and no shipping. There you go. Winner, winner. You got it. That's where I suggest you buy it from. So that's definitely a good place to do that. So, any other questions here, real quick, guys? I do have somebody that I promised I would shout out today. Jamie Deeks. Jamie Deacon just got a new, oh gosh, what did he get? Hot Spring Envoy. So he reached out to me on Instagram and asked me to please give him a shout out. So we know the rules. We're going to give him some confetti, and we're going to give him a DJ air horn. So Jamie, thanks for watching. We appreciate you very much. And there is your shout out, and we appreciate it. And I hope you are absolutely loving that Envoy. I think you got it, or you were getting it this week. So, and JJ says, we just got the Hot Springs Flash. I'm nervous about doing salt because of the reviews. Should I be worried about these rare occasions? Okay, all right. First of all, got to do confetti. Those are the rules. If you get a new hot tub on this live, you get confetti and air horns. Back to should you be worried about salt? No, you should not. I think salt, in my opinion, is absolutely amazing, and everybody should at least give it a shot. There are a few customers with super hard water and a lot of metal in their water that should maybe think twice about it. But other than that, I do not think that you should be worried about salt. In fact, I feel that salt is absolutely amazing, and once you figure out how to run it, you will absolutely love it. At my location, we have got it figured out, and our customers, for the most part, are extremely happy with it. And Jim, I know you sell salt, and you actually have your own salt system. And I mean, I'm gonna open it up, let you go. What do you have to say about salt?
Yeah. So salt, I mean, I think it's a great thing. Is it for everybody? No, but the same thing applies for, is chlorine for everybody? Is bromine for everybody? The neat thing is there's choices out there. And with salt, I can tell you that, in over 30 years of being in this industry, it definitely is the easiest thing. Now, what I did with my particular one, it's not what, you're offering right now, Jacque, but my salt system that I've designed will generate on a continuous basis until it reaches that mark that it needs to, or that level it needs to. Now I've hooked it into my home automation, So I can look at my iCare, know whether or not I'm producing enough. If I'm not producing enough, I simply go to my home automation. And my home automation, what I'm referring to is the little plugs that you plug in for a lamp. I'm plugging my salt generator into one of those, and I can set a schedule that if I need to go run it for 4 hours, I can go run it for 4 hours. If I need to run it for 6 hours because I'm on a larger hot tub, I can run it for 6 hours. If all of a sudden I have people come over and my sanitizer goes level because my iCare told me, I can turn around and go turn it on. And then 24 hours later, it goes back to its normal schedule. So it's equivalent to boosting it. The neat thing about my salt system is you're not having to replace a cartridge every 2 to 4 months. This is a cell that you can turn around and clean, and it will last anywhere from a year to 3 years depending on the runtime. So I love salt. Again, it's not for everybody, but if you can work with a retailer that has figured it out, it makes it that much easier. It's when somebody doesn't figure it out and they struggle with it that that's what those bad reviews are typically all about. And the Watkins salt system is a great system that makes it easy. The controls talk to you. Mine does not talk with the controls on a Watkins product. It works independently.
And I have our location hasn't brought it on yet, and I know you're working on us like you always do. But you do have quite a few Watkins dealers, or you have people who sell salt,
Yes.
who have it, and they're incredibly happy with it. So it's not a disposable cell, but it's been lasting pretty well and doing really well as well from my peers that I've talked to. So
Yeah,
as
it really
always,
is.
you
Yeah.
never put your name on something that you don't believe in, so which is a good thing.
Yep.
So any other questions, or are you guys ready to figure out who? I don't even know where we are on time. 3:40, so we're about there. So are you guys ready to see who won this thing? You guys have been waiting quite a while on this, so we are gonna go here, I think. See if I make that work. All right, so I've put everybody's names in, and I was actually taking, well, if I can get in front of the camera here, I was actually taking names up to like 240. So you guys were definitely doing a lot on here. So we've got everybody's name punched into the wheel, and we're going to do the soft skin spa first. Is that correct, Jim?
Yes.
Okay.
And if there's a wheel that's supposed to be on the screen,
Are you
I
not seeing
can't
it?
see it. I can't see it. I couldn't actually see your confetti either if there was
Oh,
supposed to be
well,
confetti.
I think you're missing out. Can you guys see the screen? See the wheel on the screen? Can everybody see the wheel on the screen? Can somebody throw me a yes, I can see the wheel or not? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was so busy filling out the wheel that I didn't, did not get my stream set up today. So, I am waiting for a second here, and we always got a little bit of a lag before before you guys get caught up to me, but somebody will do that here pretty quick. And if not, I have a wheel, and I'll spin the wheel, and then I'll tell you what it says. But it's more fun if you guys can see it. So Jimbo says yes, he can see the screen. So all right, are we ready? We're gonna do a drum roll here and see it's spinning now. And this is for the soft skin spa, and we have got Ella Giuffre, Giuffre. We will definitely send you an email, and so you'll get an email. And I'll include Ella and Jim. We'll include you both in that email, and then we'll get your shipping address, and we will ship that to you from there. So, Ella, unfortunately, that removes you from the iCare. So, um, I hope you're okay with that, but we'll get that shipped off to you. And Jim, you're going to be shipping this stuff out directly, correct?
Yes, I will.
So awesome. And I'm really trying to get in front of the camera here. All right, are you guys ready? We are going to do the iCare right now, and I know you guys have been waiting forever. We're gonna make some party noises here, and we're gonna click this, and there she goes. And the winner of the iCare is Nick Westwood. Congratulations, Nick. You have won the iCare, and we will definitely, we need confetti for that too. But Nick, congratulations. You won the iCare. Again, I will send you an email, and I'll have Jim included in on that email, but you have won the iCare, and I think you're going to absolutely love it, and we will definitely go for that. But congratulations, Nick Westwood. And you guys, thank you all so very, very much for playing along with that. Gosh, we did that drug on a little longer than it should have. I got sick, and we were going to do that back in January for my birthday, but we missed out on that. But I'm here, and we got that done now. But thank you guys for the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks. Any questions? Anybody need to know anything else about the soft skin spa or the iCare or any of that good stuff? I might talk Jim into doing another giveaway here someday. We'll see. That was a big one.
Congratulations, Nick. Yeah.
So that was a big one for you to do. I did kind of hold you up against the wall on that one, but
You did.
But thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you've gotten some benefit out of it as well. So.
I have. My pleasure. I'm glad Nick won.
Yeah, I'm glad Nick won too, and yeah, it's I just want you guys to know as a fan base and supporters, I totally appreciate you guys, and the channel is doing incredibly well, and I couldn't thank you enough, and that is thanks to you guys, and I totally appreciate your support, appreciate you guys showing up every week. And just keep watching, keep giving the thumbs up, keep saying thank you, all that stuff. We totally appreciate it. I have a really special guest next week. We have the president of Watkins will be here next week, Steve Hammock. That's a big deal, and he's super excited to be here, and Jim knows him well, so he's pretty impressive, so I think you guys will enjoy him. So please come back next week for that. Check out my new video on Wednesday. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to put out, but we'll have a new video on Wednesday. Do the 30-day hot tub soak challenge. I know you guys all have hot tubs. You need to be using those hot tubs every single day for 30 days straight, and you will be amazed at how much better you feel. So you guys, you are the absolute best, and thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm sorry that one wasn't as smooth as they normally are, but again, this will be on the podcast, so you can always listen to it there on Apple or Spotify or any of those places. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe and do a Google review sometime if you can. And congratulations to all our winners. And I am super excited for you guys, all you guys, to be here. And just remember, keep making life epic. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jim.